Steve, when we took a look at the run home of the Gold Coast Blaze earlier on, and when you look at that, it just adds extra significance to this mini-series we have this weekend against the Wollongong Hawks, because they're really playing catch-up with both Council and Cairns. So these games are going to be critical, and they have to go against both those two teams to have a chance to see playoff action.
Worthington again backing down. Saville got a pretty good roll on that one, though. Ubaka bumps into traffic.
Flies in no score. Not sure why it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah.
It looked ugly. Hint of a trouble, but the foul was called. Maybe that was the issue, that foul was called, then he had to travel.
It was a pretty ugly looking play.
It's a shocking looking play, but could have easily been given the benefit of the doubt, and he's going to the line to shoot a bonus.
There could have easily been a travel. Could have been a few things. As Reese Martin gets up top. And Reese Martin with the jumper drills that. So that was pretty good looking. As the Hawks take a 1-point lead. Just like they had at halftime. Petrie creates a little space for himself on K-Tron. Long rebound goes to Reese Martin. Martin to Ubaka, catch and shoot from the wing. He drills the three-point bomb. Hawks have scored the last 5.
He hasn't shot the ball well since coming to the Wollongong Hawks. Only 33% from the field is Ayinde Ubaka, averaging 12.5 points a game.
Adam Gibson, who's been in hot form in the second half of the season, drills that one. Hawks get it in quick. Reese Martin pulls the trigger, comes up short.
Not sure about that shot, Steve. I know he just hit one.
Adam Gibson with a super pass to Will Hudson. Yeah, I don't think that's the tempo that Wollongong wants.
Correct. If this gets into a up and down running game, that's definitely going to be to the advantage of the Gold Coast Blaze. Same again, that one went down, but that was really a pretty poor shot given the last couple of offensive sets by the Wollongong Hawks. But fortunately for Catron and the Hawks, he knocks that one down.
Petrie, after the switch, had Ubaka on him. Ubaka knocks it loose. K-Tron with the hustle. Even better hustle from De Leon. Hits the floor.
Not a reset.
Gibson was going to pass that one, changed his mind in midair when the defense reacted to the fake.
Joey Wright would just be ecstatic to see his superstar. Look at his superstar get down and dirty. Do the hard stuff. That is inspirational stuff and can be very infectious amongst the group when you see one of your prime movers getting down and getting those court burns.
Yeah. K-Tron should have been on the floor before that. Reach down. De Leon with the hustle. Love that. As we said, it should be some playoff intensity here. Wollongong want to be the spoilers, of course. They've been in good form. They're playing for pride and for maybe contracts next year, as you mentioned, Andrew.
And that is a tough assignment for Gordy McLeod, because these players, they know the season is done as far as the playoffs. And sometimes in those circumstances, self-preservation kicks in and you lose some of those team principles. But tonight we haven't seen signs of that, as Ayinde Ubaka slices and dices and gets to the cup.
No doubt about that. Tough pass to reel in, but Will Hudson gets a glove on it. Gets the score, and now he'll go to the line for the three-point play.
Will Hudson just quietly goes about his business. He's an undersized big man, but plays his role very well for the Gold Coast Blaze. And on the year, he's shooting at 53%. Rebounds, always provides a solid contest on the boards.
Foreman with the handoff to Ubaka. K-Tron Has a look at the shot clock. Operates. Fall away jump shot is good. He was backpedaling before that one went down. He is in the slow. De Leon. Gold Coast Blaze down 1. A little over 6.5 here in the second. Gibson is open because it's an illegal screen by Will Hudson.
Maurice Martin's going to know he's played a game if he has to deal with Adam Gibson every time down the floor like he did on that offensive set. He went backwards and forwards working off Will Hudson 3 or 4 times. And eventually he gets the call on the moving screen from Hudson, but great work off the ball by Adam Gibson to give himself a chance to get free.
Extra pass to Oscar Foreman. He's not going to miss too many of those. As the Hawks once again pull ahead, this time by 3.
De Leon yet to score. He's only had the 2 field goal attempts, 0 for 2. De Leon, he's the leading scorer for the Gold Coast Blaze this season at almost 16 points a game. So that's what can happen sometimes when you've got free reign, that helter-skelter, not helter-skelter, but everyone got the license to shoot. And sometimes your prime movers don't see enough of the ball, Steve.
Well, you want to see the prime movers moving as we are seeing the Hawks up by 3, 35-32.
Things to do before summer ends. Go to the beach. Go for a surf. Build a sand. I have no idea what that is. Go to Hungry Jack's. Play cricket. Watch cricket. Listen to crickets. Take your dog to the park. Go to an outdoor concert. Go to Hungry Jack's. Climb a tree. Fall in love. Ride a horse to Hungry Jack's. Come into Hungry Jack's for a summer value meal and get a Whopper Junior, small fries and small frozen Coke for just $3.95. Available all day, every day. Hungry Jack's makes it better.
As they come through occasionally over the top. Wing catch, we go on the 1. Now when they get to the on ball, you are on this guy's hip here, and we're switching aggressively, and we're bumping off to the guy in the corner. Okay? Yep. Back up here. You guards getting the catch. Guy who throws it in, go to the middle. 3-man here, 4-man on the wing. Okay? Here we go. Hawks, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Wollongong shooting it at 56.5%, Andrew.
It's good. It's healthy. And I like the way they're getting the ball in bounds on a score real quick to not let the Gold Coast Blaze defense set up. It's a lot harder to run that full court extended pressure. If you get it in quick and you get it down the floor like they have been doing, they're avoiding a lot of the issues associated with that extended full court press.
Petrie wheels into the middle. Good move on Oscar Foreman. Persevered through that contact. Ubaka brings it up against the pressure, finds Catron. He attacks the rim, gets it to Conrad. His floater with the right hands off the mark. Hudson grabs the board, gives it to Adam Gibson. Petrie really wants it down on the block. Creates some space for himself and kisses one off the window. Well, you like it when your big men are asking for the ball like that. Now, the Gold Coast Blaze, who scored the last 4 and have the 1-point lead. Ubaka, his floater's good. Tough shot. Didn't have an angle at all to use the glass. Fading to the right. Seesaw and affair. Now it's Wollongong on top by 1.
And you know, Ubaka, he's a perfect 4 from the field.
De Leon back to Gibson. Petrie's not screened out and gets the easy tip in.
Way too easy. And this is a smaller lineup for the Wollongong Hawks. Oscar Foreman and Javon Catron, the 2 big fellas inside, need to do a better job on the glass, which hasn't been a strength of the Hawks all season.
Worthington.
That's just not on.
He goes the length of the court.
An easy, too, defensive transition by the Wollongong Hawks. Just well below expectations on that one there. A lot of that could be fatigue.
Catron misses a layup. Now it's Mark Worthington wants the ball down on the block. They give it to Hudson. Good footwork as he lays it up over the front of the rim with the left hand. Gold Coast have scored the last 6, forcing a timeout by the Wollongong Hawks. 42-37. And just like that, the game swings in the favor of the Gold Coast Blaze, looking a little more athletic and looking like they have a deeper rotation.
They do, Steve. You know, the way they've gone up and down and the way they've controlled the tempo, the Gold Coast Blaze, they've just worn the Wollongong Hawks down and get it up and down. And you saw some of those real easy transition baskets that they've been able to take. That would be really disheartening for Gordon McLeod. You can see that from the start they had the idea of trying to control the tempo with their half-court offense, but I guess some quick shots that we pointed out during that second quarter really got the Gold Coast Blaze going. Steve, I think it's also time that we pay a little bit of respect to our fellow commentator here, Shane Heal, who's just been yesterday announced as the head coach of the Sydney Kings.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, we might have to have a word to our comrade because, you know, when we're behind the microphone, sometimes we might have to question some of the goings-on with the Kings. Hopefully he understands.
That's right.
That we just now have to pass some judgment on some of his decisions that are going to be made out there.
You know he dabbles in a little boxing, too, and he's in tremendous shape for a commentator. After the 3 of us, anyway.
That is true, but no, we wish Shane Hill all the very best. Exciting opportunity for him and the Sydney Kings. He's got 5 games to try and help their cause. Tough situation he enters when the team's out of the playoffs, but good opportunity for him and the Kings to see if there can be a long-term partnership there.
Yeah, good to see him take the opportunity of being a coach instead of trying to go with the player-coach thing, which is pretty much impossible. No one does it nowadays. Tyson Demos comes up short on him. Catron on the offensive rebound steps out of bounds.
Gold Coast Blaze have an edge in the rebounding department. 14-10.
We're talking about Shane Heal before. Got a little break in the action. 6 games left.
5 or 6. Like that.
Not many.
Not many.
But he gets an opportunity to get the first crack in there, and I'm sure that they have had a lot of interest in coaches all around, not just Australia, but around the world, in that job, the head coach of the Sydney Kings.
6 games, including the game, I think it's Sunday against Townsville, as Mark Worthington. He looks like he's in the groove. And you know what he does look like, Steve? He looks like he's in real good shape.
Yeah.
He'd be keen to put his best foot forward with the London Olympics only around the corner. And he was a very strong candidate to represent Australia.
Him and Adam Gibson here in the domestic comp, as Ubaka wasn't ready for that one. Ball squirts off his hand.
Real tough couple of minutes now for the Gold Coast Blaze. For the Wollongong Hawks. Gold Coast Blaze have reeled off the last 9 points. And there you see the field goal percentage just starting to come down a little bit. And there's the 3-point field goal percentage.
Get it to the hot man, Mark Worthington. He continues that hot streak as the Gold Coast Blaze have scored the last 12 points. Mark Worthington has 16 to his total. Tyson Demos with Jason Kadee all over him.
Really, the defensive effort by the Gold Coast Blaze is, you got to respect it. They are working hard on the defensive end.
Conrad has to force one up. That's great defense by the Gold Coast Blaze, and Wollongong dodge a bullet there. They finally get a score after the Gold Coast had scored 12 straight, and it didn't look like it was going to be on that possession. Golding to Gibson. Back to Stephen Hoare, another open shot for the Blaze. Worthington knocks it loose. and runs it down, but Larry Davison gets a loose ball. Conrad to Tyson Demos. He turns it down. Ubaka does not. His three is an air ball.
And that was a good decision by Tyson Demos. He had the early one, but when the game starts to get out of hand against a running team like the Gold Coast Blaze, it was a smart decision. They swung the ball, and unfortunately for them, Ubaka didn't see the wisdom in pulling it out and running a half-court set.
No, did not. Gold Coast Blaze taking over on this one.
Going on two or something like that.
1-3-1.
Yeah. But they had a man on you the whole time. They had one man on you the whole time. Get to the corner and dive. You ready to shoot it, right? If you ready to shoot, it works.
No, I think we're going to play.
Play, baby, I like that. Hey, kicking it here to the 4, all right? Oh, sorry. Kick it here to the 5, all right? Kick it to the 3 out of the corner. 4-man. Fake coming into the inside flash man. 1, get opposite. Got it? For 4, dive around. Fake coming down, dive in. 2, circle in behind him. 1, get opposite. All right?
And just listening to Joey Wright and the body language of the Gold Coast Blaze the last 4 minutes of the game, it's like they're a shark and they smell blood in the water.
You're spot on, Steve, and it's been the Anthony Petrie, Mark Worthington show. 15 points to Petrie on 6 of 9 shooting, and Mark Worthington 16 points on 6 of 7 from the field, and they've been pretty impressive on the glass as well. So the Hawks have showed some signs early. It's just the talent out there for the Gold Coast Blaze and the relentless way they go about it.
Just looking at that last possession, Tyson Demos was all over the ball carrier. Well, if he could knock down his jumper on a consistent basis, his value would go way up. Because he is a nuggety defender.
And fearless.
Fearless. You know, and just that open three-pointer, able to rip it through and create as Mark Worthington does what he does best, bullies his way in and gets a high percentage shot. And when he is feeling it, he cannot be stopped because he doesn't just wait on being hot. He gets himself to the foul line. He goes to the block.
Well, Steve, despite the fact that there's really don't have that major inside presence, if you look at the team on the court now for the Gold Coast Blaze, they do a great job of getting to the free throw line. They're second in the league in free throw attempts per game. And free throw makes, they're also second. So they get a lot of value out of that penetration, put a lot of pressure on the defense and force the defense into a lot of fouls. Similar to that. That is a typical Gold Coast Blaze play that Ubaka executes there, gets his way to the basket, and he knocks it down. Ubaka, 11 points now. He's also got the 4 turnovers and no assists. So as your point guard, he's doing a good job of putting some points on the board, but been a little expensive.
Wollongong able to stay close. I mean, they're shooting the basketball at a pretty good clip. At 51%, you know, it's still down 9.
When you're giving up to your opposition 57% and 37% from the three-point line, it does put a lot of pressure on your offense to keep scoring.
Tyson Demos runs into the good defensive tees. Foreman to Conrad. He creates some space for himself. Draws the contact as Stephen Hoare left his feet.
Did it beautifully. He knew that was coming, and the made basket was only going to be a bonus. Once he saw Stephen Hoare off his feet, did a great job of leaning in and forcing the foul. Goes to the line to shoot a couple. Dries DeLeon. coming back into the game. And what makes this lead by the Gold Coast Blaze even more impressive is the fact that their leading scorer on the season, Idris Deleon, has yet to register a basket.
Wow.
0 of 2 from the field.
That can happen with them, though. They're so deep.
Well, that's right, and I think it's commendable that Idris Deleon is out there. He doesn't look like he's overly anxious or overly concerned about his lack of individual points so far this first half. He spent some considerable time on the bench as well.
DeLeon gets it. The clock just winding down. He can't get the soft roll. Foreman grabs the board, and that's all we have here at half.